some guests joining us in the studio. Of course, they are also going to be part of the conversation. I have Ayo Adebamowo, founder at MyMedicalBank. Okay. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, in like manner, we have joining us also Abisola Aremu, operations lead, MyMedicalBank.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so I have Money Bank, and then you have Medical Bank.
Okay.
Yeah. What does that even mean?
Okay. All right. I mean, good morning once again, our listeners. So, the best way we say it is this: look, your bank, your traditional bank, looks after your money. My medical bank looks after your health. So, what exactly does this mean? So, my medical bank is a combination of three words, which is my medical bank. So, my means relating to me, personal. Medical relating to anything that has to do with healthcare, and the bank is a repository where you deposit valuables. So in a very simple nutshell, my medical bank is a platform that allows you to capture, to store your health information, and as well as that to access a range of valuable health information, particularly if you need to get in contact with healthcare providers throughout Nigeria.
All right. Well, we've been talking about, access to basic health care. That was the conversation we've been having with Dr. Abumajid before we had that network issue. Yeah. And so I'm looking at it, is it basic? Talking about basic health care, accessible, affordable, those kind of bull thing.
Absolutely. Yes. Very basic. That was we were talking of access to healthcare for the common man.
Exactly.
What the average man, the pepper seller, can do to access healthcare without breaking the bank. That was
and
within the budget and quality as well.
Yes.
Yeah. This is a very interesting conversation and a very serious one. Now, first and foremost, just to put a caveat that we need to be a bit realistic as well, in the sense that globally, anywhere in the world, healthcare is expensive. There's no doubt about that. Healthcare is expensive because the people that run it, the facility that run it, needs to be well paid. So we need to start with that premise. However, there are ways around which healthcare can still be affordable and accessible to the common man. And I think for us in Nigeria, this is where the conversation really needs to lead to, in terms of how this healthcare can be really affordable. Now, before I continue, I had you asking the doctor that, look, as a common man, can a common man afford to say they want to have a private doctor? So let's say the person that is selling bread on the road, for instance, can they? So I think we one of the ways that there's no new problem under the earth, as it were. So one of the ways that we need to address this issue has to be the issue of healthcare insurance. It's almost going to be difficult or impossible to really address healthcare problem without talking about health insurance. Well, let me put it in context. Statistics show that less than 5% of Nigerians have any form of health insurance. The bulk majority, about between 70 to 80% of Nigerians, pay out of pocket, for their healthcare. And this is where the problem is. We are not supposed to be paying. We're not supposed to be running a system that mandates or requires people to pay out of pocket. So what I would say is this: number one, a lot of conversation needs to be had in terms of promoting access to health insurance, to encourage people to take it, because that's one of the ways that healthcare can be insured. But number two, quickly, let me add also that digital technology has a long way, a big role to play in this. Now, the good news is that a lot of us Nigerians, a lot of our people, they are already conversant, with this, digital technology. For instance, anybody that uses Facebook, WhatsApp, and all of that, that have access to internet or data on their phone, they are already conversant with digital technology in one way or the other. So the good news now is that there are a number of solutions already in the market, that makes this healthcare to be easily accessible.
Hold on with the solutions. Let's see who can take this call.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello, are you there? Hello, good morning. All right, 0805 897 5897 is the number to call and send your WhatsApp messages to. All right, we have Dr. Issa Abdul-Majid back with us right here, of course, online.
All right, Doctor, we asked you before we lost the connection, can an ordinary Nigerian have a personal doctor?
Yes.
Dr. Abdul-Majid, are you available to be to be a personal doctor to me? Like I'm an ordinary Nigerian.
You see?
Of course, for BBC and for you get them a pot of gold. That's automatic. You know that.
We're looking at the cost of maintaining and sustaining the personal doctor.
Mm-hmm.
No. You see, it's just the way we imagine how expensive it is. When you have a personal doctor, a lot of advantage that's there is that it's not about everything that has to be like paid. You see, if you have done some kind of, they say you, occasionally you run into trouble in the middle of the night or sometimes, or it's far away from you. It doesn't need to treat you on phone. It can guide you on what to do and where to go. And that alone is better than you doing something on your own that causes you more injury. That's what it means. Sometimes your motor just gives you some sign in the morning. Your mechanic was not there. You just called and he said, okay, do this and do that. And you're able to take that car to work before he comes there and pick up the car to repair. So that goes a long way. That it gives about a medical education whereby a doctor can guide you adequately, at least not running yourself into trouble on account of what you are doing that is wrong or copying some other people. That is very possible. The second thing I mentioned is about having to do with a health center, identify a health center around you. You see, we just look down on the health center of the thing. A lot of us that are educated, that don't have money, you see, we are educated. The money is not really there. And then we look down on health center. Sometimes you go to the health center, they can put you through, you see a good doctor. The first thing I mentioned is that wherever you are working, ensure you tell your employer that they should just put you on health insurance. That is another easiest one for all ordinary Nigerians. Ordinary Nigerians must advocate for this. All associations and unions should fight strongly for this health insurance thing. They actually removing your money, and yet you do not get anything for that. At least what you end of Nigeria is that because you are on the insurance scheme, you have access to see a doctor. At least if that is out of your problem, you are not going to patronize choir, you will sell medication, and that will save you a lot of headache. If it's now the test and the treatment will be the issue, that can be sorted out at another level. But at least you will meet a good doctor who can make appropriate diagnosis without actually running into trouble. So these are what's available for ordinary Nigeria. Then finally, now a lot of other communities also set up a so all those areas also can also go ahead and also do something as community health care system. It's done in other climes in the world where it's community based. So a community have a system where they can have a doctor or group of doctor that deal with that community. That also is there that can serve our people, especially in the rural area or maybe semi-urban area, that can also solve their problem. And that's available for ordinary Nigerians as business.
Thank you.
All right, Dr. Issa Abdul-Majid, we must thank you for coming through for us this morning.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right,
seasoned medical practitioner at Balada General Hospital, Lagos, and host your Health Guide, 6:25 a.m. daily on TBS.
All right. Of course, we still have Ayo and Abisola right here with us in the studio, and of course, they're talking about MyMedicalBank.
Okay, let me ask Abisola Aremu now. MyMedicalBank, what's it about?
Okay, so MyMedicalBank is a platform that connects healthcare practitioners and the patients. So it's like we are the middle points. I have headache, I need a dentist, I need a physiotherapist. On our platform, you can access all of these people and then make an arrangement. Do you want to visit them in their hospital, or do you want them to come to your house?
Oh,
yes.
Okay, so
really?
we're talking access. Now that's another form of.
Or do you want to have it done virtually? So we recognize that healthcare is delivered generally in 3 settings. So it's either in the clinic, on the premises, or at home, or virtually online. And the platform enables access
teleconsultation
to be taking place.
Wow, that's quite interesting. That's what we call telemedicine, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
Telemedicine. Or some people call it telehealth, teleconsultation.
Okay, we celebrated that initially when we opened about that's already happening in other climes.
Yeah.
So now you're bringing it home to Nigeria.
Absolutely.
Yes.
It actually gained more traction during COVID. We saw what happened in the pandemic when because of the restrictions, people were afraid of COVID. People so there was COVID, but it's not as if other diseases and health problems were not there. It's not as if they stopped. So how will people get treated? How will people see a doctor? So fortunately, I think something changed dramatically in Nigeria in the sector, because before now we saw that if you look at Nigeria as a country, over the time we've seen that there's massive digital penetration in our banking sector. There was no Jumia before, there was no internet banking before, there was no Uber and all of that kind of. But the health sector has been very slow to embrace this digital technology. So in that COVID year, we saw people were constrained or compelled to have to find a way to consult a doctor remotely, otherwise you will die and all of that kind of stuff. So telemedicine began to gain traction from 2020 onwards.
All right, so this MyMedicalBank is an app.
That's correct.
How do we access it first?
Okay.
All right.
So so it exists both as an app and as a web application. So in other words, people can download the app for free on Play Store or App Store at no cost, and then they can also just go to www.mymedicalbank.com and then log in, register, log in, and then begin their healthcare access
how much do I have to pay?
So to download it, to register, it's absolutely free. You only pay the provider. So for instance, if you need a teleconsultation, let's say you want a telemedicine appointment with a provider, some of the providers on our platform charge from about 3,000 naira for consultation. So that's the lowest we've seen so far on the platform.
Doctor charges.
Okay, so all the doctors that are on the platform, they come under the umbrella of a particular hospital. So we have different hospitals and providers. So let's say, for argument's sake, let's say a hospital called Lagoon Hospital or Eko Hospital, let's say they register on the platform now. So what they will do is they will now onboard their doctor. So they might say, look, I have 5 doctors who I'm going to onboard on this platform, so that whenever they contact this particular hospital A, it is those 5 doctors that they've onboarded that will now provide the telemedicine on their behalf. Okay. So when the patient pays, they're actually paying to that healthcare organization
and not directly to the doctor.
Not directly to the doctor.
Okay.
We're talking about being cost effective. How cost effective is that?
Yes. So the advantage is this. I believe it's always advantageous when people have a choice. So when you are able to do your price comparison. Now, one of the things that we found out is this. I won't name the particular hospital. It's a very good hospital, so it doesn't look like I'm advertising them. Even we ourselves in the company, we thought that when this hospital opened in Nigeria, we thought it's going to be very expensive because the vice president and great people have been there. So when some of our patients now needed services and we got in touch with them, we were actually surprised at how cheap their prices were. So this is one of the things that the platform gives us, that people will not know that these are the prices that. So in other words, the advantage of having that price comparison, be able to compare with one provider and another is one. And then number 2, in terms of cost effectiveness, now because some of these services are delivered digitally or the access is facilitated digitally, it already reduces the cost. So the providers take conscious of that, when they are setting their prices, because they also want the large number, so they deliberately make their prices, their price offering to be reduced, so that to be able to attract more customers or more patients, as it were.
All right. So when the patient interfaces with the doctor, what if there is need for physical examination? What happens?
Again, the same principle applies. So when a physical examination is made, the doctor who is making the virtual consultation can decide to refer the patient for a test. So again, on our platform, on the same platform, we have a number of diagnosis centers, medical laboratories. So the patient might choose to search on our platform look for a provider who is offering that test. So let's say they need a CT scan or an X-ray or a urine test or something. So they just start the platform, look, to make that booking from that provider. So basically, the MyMedicalBank platform is a one-stop platform that allows people to access healthcare. So that is why the slogan is "Think Health, Think MyMedicalBank." So if they need physical consultation, they can book there. Then they will now need to go physically, of course, to the facility to go and do the test, and then they can have the result uploaded to them on the platform as well, so that they don't need to go back physically to go and collect the result and all of that kind of stuff.
If I'm comfortable in speaking my mother tongue, is it allowed? Is it allowed?
Okay, like if you want to speak with a doctor, let's say in
my
your mother tongue, outside it's allowed. I mean, of course, it's allowed.
Need to pair you with a doctor. You would have told us that preference.
Exactly.
So we search in our database a doctor that is available that speaks your language.
Yeah.
All right. If you have questions, of course, you can send to us 0805-897-5897. 0805-897-5897. You can also send messages on WhatsApp 0805-897-5897. 0805-897-5897. Of course, we have representatives of MyMedicalBank, the founder, your Adeba Mowo. We have Abisola Aremu and operations lead MyMedicalBank. All right, 0805-897-5897 is the number to call. All right, so there is no form of service charge that I have to pay every month. Maybe because I'm on this platform, I have to pay a certain amount of money every month in order to continue to have access.
That's absolutely true. There's no service charge. It's entirely pay as you go. Yes. You just pay what you need.
Okay, so if I just need a medical doctor maybe once a year, so it's just that once.
Exactly.
Yes, at the point of need.
Exactly.
So if someone is not sick, it doesn't have to pay anything.
No, at all.
Go ahead.
The only one that might require continuous payment is, for instance, there are some clients who. Let me use the jackpot. A number of Nigerians that have traveled abroad, what we call jackpot and all of that. So their elderly parents are back home in Nigeria. There's no one to look after them. So sometimes they contact or they need carers, caregivers to stay with them. Okay. So because those carers are going to be living with them, or maybe visiting them every day. So it's an ongoing contract. So meaning that as long as that carer is going there or staying with them, obviously that payment will be recurrent.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay, so you have that kind of
we have
service
absolutely,
well.
And we cover the whole of Nigeria.
For that.
So you provide the carer.
Exactly, we provide them. We train them, we provide them, and we monitor them.
Okay, even if they are going to be living with,
absolutely,
the patient.
Absolutely. And they submit a report daily that the clients, wherever they are in the world, or the sponsor, the children, can be accessing.
And looking at your app, how foolproof is it? Because we know that people hack things. We have hackers and all that. So is it protected?
So you don't get someone on your platform that is not supposed to be there.
And he's talking to a patient.
Yeah, and posing as a
doctor. No, valid question. To be honest, let me be very candid. Of course, that we did our market research, years ago when we started out, and we recognized that was one of the topmost concerns of people that look how secure is my data, how secure is this platform, the people you are sent to me, the doctor, is he an authentic doctor, and all of that. So let me address two issues quickly. So one is the around data security, cyber attack and all of that. So our platform is secured. Of course, we always put the caveats in the whole world. I don't think there's any 100% safe proof perfect in that sense. But what we do is this. We put a number of protocols in place to ensure that even in the unlikely events of a data hack, your data is encrypted. So your data is valueless to whoever is trying to penetrate and get it. So your information is secured. So that's number one. Then number two, we have something we call a PHR. It's a personal health record. It's a component of our product, and it's the first of its kind in Nigeria. So what the app does is it allows people to upload their own health record. So your vaccination record, your test results, your clinic letter, your genotype, your everything about health. You can record it on your own, so that wherever you are, you can access it or you can share with a doctor. That one also is secured and all of that. So there are data protection securities, and it is only you or whoever, any doctor that you choose to share that information with that can have access to it. That's number 2. Then in terms of the quality of the healthcare professionals that are deployed or that can be registered. So, I said at the beginning that it is not even the doctor or the nurses directly that are registering per se. It is the healthcare organization. They are work on that.
Yes.
So we have, they will have to do their KYC. So we check their, their CSC documents, their, the credentials basically, and also for the doctors too. They upload their documents, for the doctors, their exactly their GMs, their MDCN certificates, and all of that kind of stuff. So, and then in terms of the patient too. So one of the models we have adopted to ensure rest of mind for the users is that everybody that is onboarding, they will need to be so they have to have their email and their phone number verified at the point of registration. Then number 2 is that they will need to make a payment upfront whenever they are booking for any service. So in other words, you have to make a payment, and of course that payment is going to come from your bank account and all of that. So the identity of the payer is already established. Exactly. So it's not as if it's one go somewhere or 1419 person that is trying to.
So in case of an emergency, how does this app come in handy?
Okay, so I was at NYS last week. We are proposing to have the core members adopted. So in case of an emergency, the person is unconscious and you want to transfuse blood. You don't know the genotype, you don't know the blood group. But with this information on the person's phone, you can easily get all of that. And the time wasted trying to contact the family members, trying to get validation, that can be saved, it can be salvaged. So accidents, emergency, children immunization, vaccination record, scan records, then when the baby grows, this was you at 2 months, just the same way some people will create an Instagram account for children and store their pictures. Then when they grow, you are showing them. That's what PHR will do.
All right, very interesting. This app, so how's the reception like?
Okay, so let me put it this way. So the MyMedicalBank app itself, has different. It's a product suite. So there's a telemedicine component, there's the home care component. It's all under one umbrella. So the latest my colleague described, Abisola, talking about the PHR is something that we just launched recently. In fact, in the month of October, that just launched. Now the reception has been quite interesting. That's the first word in terms of we've had comments like we have something like this in Nigeria and all of that. So we are seeing more and more downloads and all of that, and also because for people that have already known us before now as a one-stop platform, so it's an addition to them, like an added value, to them in terms of look, it will be good for me to be able to have access, to be able to record all my health information, health record, and so I would say definitely we've seen a lot of engagement from hospitals, from clinics, from HMOs, and all of that.
All right. So if I want to download the app, so I just go to Google Play Store
or App Store,
any App Store,
and then just search for MyMedicalBank.
MyMedicalBank.
It's one word.
Is that the only one there?
Yeah.
MyMedicalBank.
Yes.
Okay.
Or alternatively, just go to the website www.mymedicalbank.com. And it would.
Are there other details for those who might also want to get in touch with you personally? Are there other details?
So I mean, we have our contact phone numbers. That people can reach us on. We have dedicated customer support team. It's okay if I give it. So we have our phone number. Our customer service support number is 0802 759 0165. So that's 0802 759 0165. And of course, social media, we are everywhere: Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook.
And leave a message, you get a response.
You will just Google MyMedicalBank. Our details will come up, and there are so many ways you can get in touch with us.
All right, quick one. Someone asked on this MyMedicalBank, is it a nationwide medical provider in terms of if a person's case must be handled in a hospital? Macnell from Alabama just sent in that one. Okay,
the answer is yes. It is a nationwide because it's a digital platform.
Okay.
It's anywhere people are, they can access it, and the providers will be available nationwide to attend to them.
All right, this person said, is it the one with the red logo Does it have a red logo?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I think someone is trying to download it.
Okay.
All right, so it has a red logo in it. You got it correctly, Emmanuel, right there. We must say a very big thank you to our guests this morning. Ayo Adebamowo, founder at MyMedicalBank. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Abisola Aremu, operations lead, MyMedicalBank.
Thank you.
All right, in like manner, we thank Dr. Issa Abdul-Mujib, also who joined us earlier in the course of the conversation. We'll say a very big thank you. Production has been by Kasim Fumlayo Mudukwola Dagun, Joshua Maradesa, DJ Scotty G on the music side of business. We had support from Bumi Ajay, Mutran Suleiman, and Damlola Adebayo. Thank the ICT crew as well for putting us on socials. We'll return again tomorrow. It's going to be the Funky Freaky Friday edition of The Breakfast Show. I am Funmi Omoburiu.
And at DPC, Health is wealth.